Hey everyone, welcome back to Objective Reviews, and as you've already read the title, this is my first HDR video on the channel and I'm pretty pumped about it. If you're watching this on a HDR capable device, well, you're gonna have some fun looking at these shots. If you're not, it's still gonna look pretty great. And as you already know, we're gonna be checking out the Nintendo Switch. So let's get right into it. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any unboxing to do here because I got no box. Special thanks to somebody. But not necessarily important because the hardware itself, the Switch itself, its stand, its controllers, yada yada yada, everything is so exquisite. No matter where you place it, it can be in your hand, it can be on a stand, it can be in a delicately placed product shot, it's gonna look epic. And that is all thanks to the hardware engineering and thanks to the industrial design that has gone into making the Switch that makes it look absolutely gorgeous. Now, I want to quickly talk about the dock itself and I want to get it out of the way because we're going to be looking at the dock separately in another video in a couple of weeks. So the dock is pretty great. It can be sitting on your desk and not necessarily connected to a TV, and you can just simply use it for charging. That is as simple as it needs to be. But you can, however, connect a HDMI TV up to 1080p if I understand correctly, but I've been able to use it on my 4K TV, so that's pretty cool. And that's as far as I'll go into the dock right now. So let's talk about the Joy-Cons, which are pretty great to hold in the hand. I would have preferred to getting a all-black Nintendo Switch, but unfortunately it wasn't available, so I have to do with the red Joy-Cons, which look pretty epic and have this kind of a YouTube vibe going about it. You can have them on the Switch, or if your Switch is docked, you can use them in both hands. Or if your Switch is using the kickstand, you can use it in both hands. But if that is not really comfortable for you, which it isn't for me, but some games may demand that, well, you have the base plate for it. I'm going to call it a base plate because that's the most comfortable word I could find for it. And what you can do is just dock it into that and use it like a traditional gamepad. And this is by far the most comfortable position I've found. Like, get the kickstand out on the Switch, dock it out, and use the gamepad setup and play. Now, this is not really viable when you're on a plane or a train or a bus or something like that, or you're in a cramped up space, or you don't have desk space to prop up the Switch, and that is where you're going to be holding in your hand. So how you use it is completely contextual. There's no one right way of doing it, and different games and different modes are going to require different things. So yeah, context, it matters. The display on the Switch is pretty good. I wasn't expecting a 720p screen to be this good, and the form factor when you look at a Switch with the Joy-Cons on the side makes it appear a little wider, but it's still your traditional 16:9 screen, and it's excellent. It's 720p, sharp as hell, and I've not yet noticed a frame drop when I'm playing it in my hand or when it's docked and connected to a TV. The NVIDIA Tegra chip always manages to keep up with even some of the most demanding scenes in Sonic Forces or Mario Odyssey. The speakers on this are okay. They're not very loud and they're not very soft either. It's just good enough to give you a decent gameplay experience, and you're just going to be hooking in your earphones anyways when you're really zoned into that game. So it makes sense now to talk about the gameplay experience. And boy oh boy was it fun. I literally spent a good day's worth of gaming on this since I've gotten it, and I cannot stop. So I think we are going to be seeing a significant increase in my video production time as I'm going to be spending more and more time on the Switch itself. And I'll be honest with you here, when the Switch launched, I just thought it's another Nintendo 3DS or something like that, and it's never gonna work out until game developers started supporting the platform and releasing their games on it. We now have Doom on this thing. Wow, it is incredible how much support this has gotten from the community itself and the game engineers and all the studios that are publishing their titles on this, and the rumors floating around about Nintendo releasing a Pokemon game on this, which I am super pumped out about. Nonetheless, the titles that exist on this right now, Mario Odyssey has been my favorite. Sonic Forces comes second. I still haven't gotten my copy of Zelda, so apologies to the internet for that. But I will get it soon as I have some free time on my hand so I can invest it in playing that game, because I know it needs all the time I can give it. Coming back to talking about the gameplay experience, I tried both modes, having the Joy-Cons directly on the Switch and then the Joy-Cons in the gamepad itself, And like I said during the starting of this video, I do prefer having the Joy-Cons in the gamepad and then playing it. It's a bit narrow in there, it's a bit cramped, so it may not be favorable for everyone, especially people with larger hands. But for me, mine are nimble, so yeah, it's comfortable for me. But it may not be comfortable for everyone, especially little children, because the grips on these are very big. So it may become a little tricky for children to position their hands correctly on the Joy-Cons, and that may lead to some fatigue in the wrists. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend it for very long sessions. And the gameplay experience is powered by Nintendo's own software, and I really like it. It's really simple to use, and it's nothing that is out of the ordinary. Everything is where it needs to be. Nothing is out of place, nothing surprises me. It's literally like I have been using this software for the past 20 years and I did not even know about it. So that is a big win for the software designers at Nintendo, because they have made something that is so comfortable and so easy to use. Well, kids these days, well, they can pick up and just learn any gadget they want within a few hours and be masters of it. But for someone like me, where the learning curve starts becoming a little harder and harder as we age, well, this is just brilliant. Now, the Nintendo Switch may give you the idea that because it's a gaming device, it's mostly for kids and teenagers, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Project LABO is going to be coming in soon, and that is something I am really interested in, simply because it is going to involve parents and the children doing something collectively and having fun with it. And I can't wait for these groups of people to start having more fun in each other's company. And as for me, well, I'm alone in the studio here, stuck forever, just like Jonathan Ivey is in his white room. So I'll be making my own stuff and playing it out, and I'll be making videos on it. Well, hey, did you notice that? The moving screensavers. Anyways, coming back to the point. So yeah, like I was saying, I wasn't diverting away from the point. I'm going to be making these videos alone for a very long time. But the point I'm trying to make here, I believe, is that Project LABO, Nintendo Switch, all the games that are on it, first party and third party, the whole thing as a package itself is really exciting. The money it costs is a pretty penny, but I do believe that it's worth every single one of it. Well, that should have been pretty obvious, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't have made a video on it. And well, that's my review of this Switch. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you disliked it, let me know down in the comments why you disliked it, what I can improve. And if you're new around here, do subscribe and stay tuned for more videos on the Nintendo Switch 2-player mode, connecting it to the TV and that experience. And when Project LABO comes, I'm going to be all over it. So if you're interested in watching those videos, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you know when those videos are out. Cheers.